Tip.
Good afternoon. It is October 9th, 2019. You're listening to a Little Column A, a Little Column B, hosted by Will Limonos and co-hosted by Zach Bishop. How you doing today, buddy?
What is going on, Will? I have a fun story for you today. I'm going through my day today, and I'm looking through for topics, and I'm never sure exactly what I'm gonna pick out to be the first topic that I drop on people, and then just a little topic just comes out of the sky. One of our favorite listeners, Sean, he just sends me a message. This is a bar in Missouri. They're not going to charge you for drinks. Whole different model that they're doing. They're thinking, it's 2019 now. They're thinking in the 2020s. They're going to pay you by the time.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
See?
I walk into a bar.
Wrap your head around that. Yeah.
I walk into the bar. I get a drink. It takes me 15 minutes to finish the beer, which is long. Let's just ballpark. And what do I owe exactly? I owe 15 minutes of my time.
It's by the hour. And
Okay.
the average price is $10 an hour.
Oh boy. So so I get one drink an hour and it's charged me by the
No.
hour? Oh, I get unlimited
No.
drinks.
You drink as much as you can, and you stay for as long as you want.
So I can leave after the first hour and just get completely trashed. I could have 20 drinks in the hour and then leave.
Yes.
Interesting. Would you stay? I feel like this is just discouraging people. Like the people that are going to stay are the people you don't want to stay. And I feel like a lot of people, I don't know, maybe I can't tell if this is a great idea or an awful idea. I don't think the philosophy is going to work. I think it's going to be just too confusing for anyone to actually understand it. Like this seems like a Stephen Barry's kind of idea where there'll be a short window where we all take advantage of it, and then a very obvious result of like, of course this didn't work.
Oh, I am totally ready for in a month to do a follow-up on this, and I hope it's not just this business model just didn't work because we didn't make enough money, and it's like there's some like disastrous drama-filled story about how this all just went and just destroyed itself. But they're trying something different. They got some pictures. It's definitely not it's not a fancy place at all. Kind of got an industrial feel to it. Pretty big. It's pretty much a 2,500 square foot open space, but they do have three 100-foot large projectors. They got four 50-inch TV screens. Actually, not 100 feet. That's probably inches. So they got like some big. You could go there. You could watch the game. I'm wondering if like the first time you go, you like really try to overdo it. But I'm thinking if you're there for 2 hours, say for a basketball game, and that's $20, I think you can easily get your money's worth without having to get crazy about it.
How do you not get crazy though? I mean, $20 is suddenly it's like the value of what you're motivated by the value you're about to get now. And I think that whenever that happens, nobody knows their limits anymore because they just know how much they're willing to spend. They're like, oh well, I can make this a better deal if I just drink more. Is that not like am I the only one thinking that philosophy? Is that bad? Maybe that's very unhealthy. I just think that's immediately going to get taken advantage. I mean, can we make this like 25 and up though? Like, are you really going to let a 21-year-old walk into this and say you can drink as much as you want for this next hour, and actually for the next couple of hours if you pay us $30?
They do have it broken up, and so like they have like happy hour, where happy hour it's only $8, where for brunch it's $20 an hour. I guess on Taco Tuesday it's $10. So they got some different ideas, but yeah, it doesn't say anything about any sort of limit.
What would you say the limit would be for you? Like, how much would you be willing to pay? Like, where's the line right now? Like $30 an hour, is that too much?
I think it depends on the spot.
All right.
Like for me,
we got projectors.
Someplace not being fancy and just like I can go there, I can get light beer, and like I can watch the game. Like sweet, yep. Like sign me up for that. Where other people I think would go and go, oh, that's not really what I'm looking for. Maybe you're looking for dancing. Maybe you're looking for something else. You can't. They don't serve food. but you can order food, which I think is unusual for a bar, but definitely not unusual. I know out here for a brewery to like really push that. So you don't have to get a whole restaurant's license and everything. You just focus on you get the liquor license, and then even partnering up with, hey, the pizza place down the road, they'll even deliver right here. Here's menus.
And you think this is gonna work? I don't think this is gonna work.
Oh, I think like I said, I think like in a month we're gonna follow up on this. This is gonna crash spectacularly. But I like the general idea, and if I was in Missouri, I would definitely check this out.
All right, more likely to be successful doing this task. This bar doing this, or Ben Simmons' shooting percentage from 3-point from 3-point distance. More likely to be successful this year.
What's considered success? What does he have to do? Make one?
I suppose that would be a success compared to his 0 that he has throughout his career so far. Is this a huge?
Not just NBA career, college career as well. Don't forget that.
It just seems to me that a guy is this good at basketball and this bad at shooting. And maybe he isn't that bad at shooting. Maybe this was actually just a pure decision of choosing not to shoot. Like, let me ask you this: Is he a better shooter?
Clearly a decision.
Is he a better shooter than Markelle Fultz today? Like right now?
I'm gonna see some good things out of Markelle Fultz. If we're talking last year with all those goofy videos of his like with a real hitch in it, I'd say Simmons has got to for sure have a better shot. But I think Fultz might be figuring it out. I just don't know how Simmons can be this adverse to even attempting shots. I think last year he took 19 threes, and some of those were halftime heaves. I wouldn't even really necessarily count them as 3-pointers.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's taking a lot of them. He's not even attempting them, which I think in this NBA, you have to at some level attempt them, just at the very least of it forces the defender to have to come out on you. And you're not going to get any better unless you practice, unless you take these attempts in game situations, in games.
Oh, you mean you can't score without taking a shot? That's impossible?
So maybe we should bring up the reason that we're talking about this is because Ben Simmons hit a 3 last night in a preseason game.
And everybody's going crazy.
Like, not just everybody in the stadium, players, fans, the whole thing. His MVP odds improved.
That seems crazy. Do you think it's a big deal? Do you think it's a big deal?
They went from 100-1 to 80-1.
That's a big jump. That's a big jump from one shot. One shot in a preseason game.
One shot in a preseason game. I don't think it's a big deal. I think that if you're a point guard, or not at this point in the NBA, if you are a player in the NBA, you have to be able to know how to shoot a 3-pointer. Wouldn't you have been embarrassed in his situation, the way everyone cheered for him?
A little bit. I like that the same day, though.
He got the Scalabrine treatment. And he's supposed to be, he's an all-star, but he's supposed to be, like, one of the next guys in the league that's going to be, like, maybe not quite the face of the league, like, looks like Giannis or, LeBron has been for a long time. But definitely one of the guys that's in the conversations of, yo, this is the guy. This is a guy in the league. He's one of the elite guys. And he hits that 3 yesterday, and they called timeout afterwards, and the place went nuts. You would have thought, like, he had just hit a game-winning shot in a playoff game.
I thought they retired his jersey. Did they not just do that right thereafter? Like, is he not just a Hall of Famer, first ballot, ready to go? He hits one jump shot.
I saw a bunch of stuff on Twitter where it's like you always remember where you were for big NBA moments. And it's got Jordan hitting the game winner in the finals. You had Kawhi crouched down in the corner after he hit that Game 7 shot last year, and then it's got Ben Simmons hitting a preseason 3-pointer.
All right, let me ask you this: Do you think 3-point shooting is difficult anymore? Like you kind of touched on that, this should be something most people should be able to do in the NBA. Otherwise, you're really gonna have a hard time finding a home and finding room on a roster if you're not able to do this. Because yesterday, the Ben Simmons thing is all over social media. I can't not see this highlight. Even today, it's still everywhere. It's being played all over.
Highlight.
And
a run-of-the-mill play for anybody else.
And it's being paired with the highlight.
Steven Adams hit a 3 yesterday.
Exactly. It's being paired with 2 highlights of Boban, who's the biggest NBA guy in the league right now, hitting a 3, and Steven Adams, also hitting a three. Both of those are very early in the shot clock, by the way. Those weren't just like last second heaves. Those were, all right, I made a conscious decision. I'm going to shoot these. This is the offense we are running right now. And they both made it. And I'm honestly much more impressed by those two than I was by Ben Simmons. And it just makes me think, like, shouldn't everyone be able to do this? Like, if you can't make a three, do you really have a spot? Is there room for you in the NBA anymore?
You really have to be good at other things to be able to have that kind of hole in your game. Where Ben Simmons is really good at all the other aspects of basketball.
Wouldn't you say all the other aspects are a lot more difficult? Like, if you can just shoot, you can do that. You can go practice. I know there's some situational awareness you need with that, but if I'm every college kid everywhere, I'm looking at all this thinking, I better be able to shoot, and maybe I can
Yeah,
learn the rest of the stuff. But if I can shoot, we'll find room for you here. If you as long as you got size and you're just not useless on defense, and even some of the guys are useless on defense. I just think shooting has overwhelmingly become just so much more important for every single position in the NBA, and I'm excited for it going forward. I'm really curious to see if Simmons can shoot more and actually shoot a decent percentage. I mean, he doesn't have to do much. Just a couple attempts alone would really shift his game. If a defender could just have to
I
come out 2 extra feet to come guard him out there, just 3 shots a game from there would change that already.
I think it would, and it's people have been talking about this for a couple of years. Of even if you're not hitting it at a an efficient clip, you're not shooting 400 or 40% plus. Even if you're shooting it 33, which is below league average, is not good. It still means you do hit it once in a while, and maybe it's not the most efficient shot, but it does move the defense. But if the defense knows you are not going to shoot a three, you're just not going to do it. It just makes it way easier. Like you're playing basketball. Like if you know a guy can't dribble with his left hand, so you know he's not going to go left. It makes stuff a little bit easier. Like he's not going to do this at all.
The offense always has the advantage of knowing where it wants to go. The second the defense has any idea of where you may or may not go or what you may or may not do, your advantage is gone. You need to you have to be constantly unpredictable, being able to go left, go right, and be able to shoot, and as well as a bunch of other aspects to it. Yeah, that's basketball. There you go, defined right there. You don't need to know anything else. You can stop listening to the podcast. It's fine. Preseason's here. I'm excited for it. The big news outside of Ben
so
Simmons
excited.
is Zion Williamson doing Zion Williamson things right off the bat, not even hesitation. I felt like we were immediately
Human
rewarded
thing.
for tuning in of seeing back-to-back dunks almost right off the get-go. And we've both played a lot of basketball in our life, and I think I texted you this the other day. I like to think I've had a similar feeling to a whole bunch of NBA players of I know what a made shot feels like. It feels great. It's awesome. I know what winning feels like. I got that. I have no idea what it feels like to dunk like Zion Williamson. I can't even remotely imagine what that must feel like because just seeing him do this, it looks so powerful and dominant, and he looks so much younger and faster than everyone else right now. I can't even fathom the feeling he must be having doing all this, and that he's going to be hopefully doing this for a bunch of years to come. The Zion thing, get on the train if you're not already on it. I think this is going to become must-watch basketball very, very soon if it isn't already.
I mean, I think when he played last year, it was already must watch. Just he doesn't necessarily have to be out in the open floor, which that was one of the things I was concerned with him coming into Duke. When you're watching the highlights of him in high school, it's like, all right, on the break, and there's a lot of high flyers that they can only dunk if they're out on the break, and in college at that D1 level, and then in the NBA, it doesn't really happen all the time. But he doesn't have to do that. A bunch of these were in semi-traffic and just they set him up well.
Good cuts, great cuts, just cutting to the
Yeah,
basket. They weren't
but
even designed plays. It was just somebody at the high post or somebody on the perimeter. Zion cuts down through the
he was
middle
just
and just drop passing it
he,
to him.
they were finding him. I think that he was trying to do a little too much. There were a couple of breaks where he was just trying to get downhill and kind of mishandle the ball. He looks uh, kind of lost on defense. I think for so long now that he's just been able to be so athletically gifted that he can make up for poor positioning or poor gambles with just amazing recovery. but it's his first preseason game, and a lot of rookies struggle with figuring out defense. So, I'm sure that he's going to make improvements. But yeah, talk about excitement of jumping on board. That was Monday night, and I made it an effort to that rather than watch Monday Night Football. The Yankees were playing a postseason game, and I was watching that, and not even on in the background. It was on, tip off, sound. I was ready to go. I was locked in. I was excited. Turned out those other two games weren't really great, so I was kind of keeping an eye on it. Probably would have checked in later, but with the basketball game was going to end the quickest. But it was anytime Zion was in, I was watching the game with the sound on. I wanted to see what was going to happen. It also helped that there was 30 ex-Duke guys that were out there on the floor. But it was definitely cool seeing DeAndre Hunter, who was on the Virginia national championship team, see him kind of starting to figure things out. And just definitely a fun run. They're also, it's not going to help the listeners too much by the time they probably listen to this, but Zion's playing tonight, 8:00 ESPN, and I'm for sure going to be tuning in.
Who are they playing tonight?
No idea.
No idea. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're tuning in for Pelicans.
I saw the Pelicans had a preseason game, and I said, okay, I know what I'm doing at 8:00 tonight.
Well, earlier I spoke about kind of putting yourself in someone else's shoes. I think with this next Breaking Bad movie, we can kind of talk a little bit about that transition. I think we've maybe talked about this on the podcast before about in shows like The Sopranos and Breaking Bad specifically. Who are you really rooting for? Who's the protagonist? Clearly there's some guys doing some wrong here, and I know for the entertainment factor you're rooting it along. And I feel like there was a switch in Breaking Bad specifically of Jesse seemed kind of like the junkie, no good troublemaker kind of guy, and Walt was like the poor, unlucky high school teacher that got cut out of his own business. It's a bunch of spoilers, by the way. If you have not seen Breaking Bad, spoilers are coming. All right, but the movie's coming out, and I think it's been long enough. You should have seen it by now, right? Is that fair?
Yeah.
All right. So basically, I feel like by the end of it, it flip-flops, where I think a lot of people, when the series ended, suddenly went on I can't believe all the crap that Jesse just went through, and you almost are sympathetic with him. And it sounds like this next spin-off movie, this is all of an assumption. I have no idea what this next movie is really going to be about, but it sounds like we're picking up right where we left off. And my question to you is: Are you rooting for Jesse? Is he the protagonist officially right now, or is this going to flip-flop kind of again, where it's all right, now this guy did have a pretty rough, but is that karma or is that bad luck? And it may not even boil down to that simple, but I'm just curious to see: Are you rooting for Jesse in this next movie?
I'm in a perfect spot for this because I just finished rewatching the series last week. It was definitely I would watch one episode every couple of weeks or something. It took me a while, but I'm very fresh on the ending, which I think is the most important part. As like you said, from the previews, looks like it's picking up right where it left off. What I had forgotten, because I'd only watched this through once, though, the last season when it came out, and it's been a few years now, is in my head it was Jesse and Walt, they were fighting, it wasn't getting along great. They made bigger and bigger moves, and then it kind of got a little sideways at the end. But I forgot it went not sideways, it went real downhill.
Yeah.
When those were they Nazi guys or just bad guys? Was it specifically that they were Nazis or white supremacists or something? They're just, or is it implied a little bit?
I think everyone knows who you're talking about. You don't really need they don't need a title, but yeah, we know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
those guys.
The not good guys. Todd's uncle.
Yeah, there you go. Todd's uncle's crew.
Where they, it goes downhill, and they kidnap Jesse. They kidnap him, and they just beat the crap out of him, force him to cook. At one point, he does manage to escape out of the hole they have him in, and he gets to the fence, and they're just waiting for him, and they're not just, oh, hey, no big deal, you tried to escape, we'll just put you back in the hole. They go and they grab his girlfriend and the kids, and it's just they really, it's a physical, psychological, they really mess Jesse up. So
everything in that show that Jesse valued, that they showed us, outside of everything they showed us that Jesse was valued or was important to him, was basically taken away from him by the end of the movie, by the end of the series. Everything,
Yes. Yeah.
everything.
It's like he kind of had his thing going where he wasn't making a ton of money at the beginning, but he was making the making the meth the way he wanted to do it with the red chili powder. And but like every season, like every episode, he just got in like a little more and more in over his head and tried to get out at multiple points and just like could not get out. So I think that he's different from other characters that I mean, yes, he's in control of his own actions, so actions have consequences, all that. But I think that I'm on the side that I'm going to be rooting for him. The last part of the of Jesse escaping that I had forgotten was Walt really, really, dicks him over quite a few times. But it is Walt that comes in and saves him, gives him the keys to the car,
And jumps on him. And jumps on him in the shooting
Yep.
scene.
Yep, yep. Because they had like the like they're fighting, but it was a fake fight. So to make sure that Jesse got down, so when the huge machine gun went off, it killed everybody or pretty much everybody else while they were on the floor. So I'd kind of forgotten Walt at the last moment had done something nice and like let him escape. So it'll be interesting to see if Jesse comments on Walt at all, because it was fine for a while. It got real bad, but then like the last thing he did was like helped him escape. So if Walt doesn't do that,
are you allowing that debt to be cleared? You're all right with that? That's
what I'm wondering. I'm wondering where Jesse, because it's kind of Walt's fault that he was in that position. So it's got to be a real bittersweet kind of situation, and just Jesse driving away, just screaming, just holding onto the wheel, just shaking, just raw emotion. It's gonna be a fun ride.
I think it's so interesting to me that you just said all that, because I feel like the hopelessness that Jesse's left with is kind of how Walt starts in the whole series. And
interesting.
I mean, if you think about it, it really is. I mean, what does Walt have at the very beginning? He's got nothing. Everything of value to him is pretty much like gone. All right. I know he's got the family and all that, but he didn't get the job he wanted. All right. I feel like his wife is kind of disappointed in him. He's a high school teacher. He's not making money. He just gets diagnosed with cancer. It's like all this crap is just piled up right at the beginning. He has nothing going for him. There's very little things I think that are very important to him. He does have a son, but I mean, I'm not saying you love your son any less, but his son was born with a disability. Like, stuff has just not gone Walt's way. And
yeah, it seems like his whole like life, his whole adult life, it's just been a struggle.
And I don't think it was ever easy for Jesse either, but I also feel like Jesse consciously wanted this lifestyle and then just regretted it step by step as he got deeper and deeper throughout the whole thing. And I don't know. I'm curious. I think I'll be rooting for Jesse in the movie, but I'm not expecting a happy ending to suddenly happen. I just feel like anything Jesse gets involved in turns on him at some point. Like, do you think he's actually going to come out on top of this, or is it just going to be classic Jesse?
I just don't know how it's possible.
There's a good time, and
aren't the cops after him?
I don't know. I mean, we were asking all the same questions at the end of Breaking Bad. Like, how does Walt get out of this? Like, does he just get cancer and die off in the woods? And that could make sense. It's a little less entertaining, but that seemed plausible. Like, does Jesse just run? Is he just on the run forever, or does he end up in some third world country like with the Brock kid? Like, I don't know what winning would actually look like for him. It seems like there's no way he can ever get out of all of this.
Yeah, because I think the police are going to be after him. I know they really messed up that crew, but I'm sure there had to be some people in there that weren't in the room that are going to be looking for him. And then it's just like, I'm trying to think of like any movie where people are on the run, very rarely ends up with like, yep, everything kind of worked out. It's always a matter of, they had to go back to their family, or they went back somewhere, or they got caught. Like, there's not a lot of outcomes. Not a lot of positive outcomes.
I'm so curious to see, because we pretty much know everything. At least we think we do. There's going to be some sort of secrets that are presented in the movie, obviously, to just details that we're unaware of right now. And I can't figure out where those are going to come from, what those are going to be, and what sort of curveballs are going to make this suddenly like, oh, he's got a chance, or this is what he needs to do, or I have no idea the direction of it. But I'm looking forward to it. I know you're looking forward to it. That's coming out this Friday on Netflix. So if you're a Netflix user, look.
What's the percent chance you put on Walt making an appearance?
I think a flashback is good, and I actually don't even think it'll be. I think it'll be like leftover footage from some scene that they never needed, or maybe some scene that they had some hypotheticals. I don't know. I think Vince Gilligan's pretty smart, so I don't think we're gonna get a new Walter White scene. I think we're gonna get a flashback scene that may have already even been filmed. Like I don't even think he did any work on this. I think it's specifically gonna be focused on Jesse that much. I mean, who's left anyways outside? I mean, Saul's gone, right? At least he's on the from he's working at
Saul's on the run too.
Yeah, he's at the mall working at the Cinnabon or whatever.
He's a Cinnabon.
Walt is. Do you think Walt's alive or dead at the beginning of this? I think that's really where it begins. Is Walt in the hospital right now?
I saw. I think it was like a week ago. Some people kind of looking into. Oh, well, they don't really show. They don't show Walt officially dead. They show him fall. They show the cops coming in. Assume it heads in that direction. But then I also saw about a half week ago. I don't remember if it was Vince Gilligan or if it was. I think it would be him as the creator. Came out and said, "Walt's for sure dead. Nope, there's nothing gonna happen there." Which that just kind of, just a little thing kind of went off in my brain of. You're gonna love this connection I got here. For the finale of The Office, going into it, there was like, oh, is Michael Scott going to come back for the finale? Is this going to happen? Is he going to do it? And everybody came out and said, nope, absolutely not. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Nope. Zero chance. For sure not. Then he did. So I'm going to put it at a 20% chance that Walt's in it.
Well, you know what? Walter White wants you to think whatever he wants you to think. So if Walter White wants you to think he's dead, then he's dead. But that doesn't mean he's actually dead. It's just what he wants you to think.
Say my name.
Exactly.
Oh, I can't wait. There are gonna be some great quotes. Yeah, so it comes out Friday. When do you plan on watching it?
It's
on Netflix, so you don't even have to leave the house.
Ooh, let me ask you this: do you have any interest in actually seeing it in theaters, or does this seem like such an obvious choice to watch it at home that you're going to watch it at home? Because seeing Breaking Bad in theater,
I think
it's kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity. If it's good, if the reviews come back and they're good, I may hold out and actually see it in theaters.
Without watching it, so you'd have to wait the weekend. I don't think it's out in enough theaters.
I'd also have to look at that. I really liked watching movies in theaters. I like the sound system. I like the big screen. I think it really adds a lot of elements to the right movie. I think this is gonna be the right movie. I mean, we've seen all the Breaking Bad has always been from the living room. I know you guys got a projector at Moods over there, so you're living in a bit of a different lifestyle than most. But I think having an opportunity to see this in theaters could be really fun. I mean, think of any Breaking Bad episode. You don't think that'd be fun to watch in theaters? Any of the chase scenes, any of the kill scenes, any all the intensity? Just hearing the end song.
I don't think I can wait.
I hear you there. I don't know if I doubt I'll be able to wait, but I
can wait.
There is part of me that's like, all right, maybe I will do it in theaters, but it'll be more or less watched this weekend. I feel pretty confident that I'll get to it at some point this weekend. Maybe a Saturday afternoon. Or Friday night. I don't know what time it's actually gonna be released on Friday. I don't know if that's like a midnight thing on Thursday or.
I'm pretty sure. I'd have to look a little closer, but in the past, when they say it's out Friday, that is like midnight Thursday into Friday Pacific time.
Oh man, is that East Coast time, or do I get 3 more hours out of that, or is that? Can I watch it at 9 here?
No. It's Pacific time, so it's 3 a.m. my time. So you could stay up, and it would be, be a late night, but not the same as for me. It would have to be it would be a wake up super early kind of thing.
Ooh, maybe it will be an early morning. And speaking of early mornings, you want to talk about our good old friend Jay Gruden, who I mean. We just talked about Jesse and Walt kind of having a rough life and, may or may not be the good guy or the bad guy. I'm pretty sure Gruden's not the bad guy here, all right? Jay Gruden was the head coach of the Washington Redskins, who are what 0-4 going into this most
0 and
recent.
5.
Were they
Oh,
or
they were 0 and 4. Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
were 0-4 going into this week, and they're about to play the Patriots, who are undefeated and I think the heavy favorite so far at this point in the year. So they're playing the best team in the league. They're 0-4 already. And for whatever reason, this owner has an expectation that they should have performed better. They played well in the first half. I think that can go well noted, but they get destroyed in the second. But either way, very next day, Jay Gruden gets called into the office at 5 a.m. only to find out that he's being fired. That's I mean
5 in the morning. That's got to be worse than getting fired over text, right?
you know what? I've heard different arguments for this. As I've also heard certain situations where someone breaks up with someone and they feel like, oh, I wanted to do it in person. The other person was like, well, why would you do that? Now I wasted my time coming to see you. Like I appreciate your respect and all that, but you also just wasted my time. We went through this whole dinner. I don't know. I don't think there's ever really a good way to do this. I do think the 5 a.m. firing after playing the best team in football is a really bad time to do it, though. Like, I don't know what expectations they had. You could have had any coach in the world that game, and I still think you would have been the underdog. I mean, what would it take?
Well,
What would it take for a head
I'm
coach to make them the favorite of actually having a chance of beating the Patriots that week? Like that doesn't
See,
exist.
you're thinking about it like this was the thing that made it happen. I think you start 0 and 5. He's 35, 49 and 1 as the coach, so hasn't had really much success. I want to focus more on getting fired at 5 in the morning on a Monday. Why could that not have gotten done at 9 o'clock?
I don't know. Can we make firing like the new hint is come in late today? Can that just be the new sign?
And the thing too is he got a text the day before saying, "Hey, there's going to be a meeting at 5 o'clock. We need you there." You know for sure you're getting fired. You got to have a real good idea you're getting fired. So now you're not even going to sleep well. You're not going to get a night's sleep before you go in, and then you know the firing's coming. I was listening to I was watching Slow News Day on the Ringer, which is always fun. That's a good watch if anybody's looking for some fun football content. And Kevin Clark goes like, "All right, so say the meeting took a half an hour. You fired him. Hey, yeah, I don't know, some chit chat. I don't know exactly what goes on. So half an hour at the latest. All right, so it's 5:30 in the morning. What do? You go home? You go back to sleep? He's like, you go to brunch? No, you can't go to brunch. It's not open yet.
Oh man, you can get that sandwich at Denny's, man. That's I don't know.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking, what about what was it, a couple weeks ago when we had the story where you could bring, I think it was the UK, where you could bring a friend with you. I mean, you already got a good friend. You just come to your firing. Good luck getting a friend to come with you at 5 in the morning.
It's crazy. The timing of it, I agree is bad, but I think the weekly timing is just as bad. Because if you knew you were going to fire him if they go 0 and 5, why aren't you just getting rid of him week 4? I mean, what did you think was going to happen this last week? That's why I think it's ridiculous to do it the very next day. And the time is awful too. But if you thought 0 and 5 was going to that's what's going to eliminate him already. We're going to fire him because he's going to be 0 and 5. You should have got rid of him week 4 because you're playing the Patriots week 5. And I know that's arrogant coming from a Patriot fan, but that's just realistic statistics going in, right? There was nothing the owner should have expected.
They're a 14-point underdog, a double-digit underdog.
So what were they supposed to cover? Like what website were they looking for here?
No, that's what I mean. Like it wasn't like there was any sort of expectation that this was gonna go well. I think that's why they did it. All right, well, let's not have the new guys start having to play the Patriots and getting shellacked. Let's do this a little differently. We'll have this guy take the hit. He takes the L to his name, and then we'll start fresh immediately the next week.
I don't know who wants this job either. I know everyone will always want an NFL job, and that this is. I mean, I say this with like air quotes, a historic franchise. I mean, it hasn't been very historic in my lifetime, I'll say, but there's still history there. I still think that most of the NFL does have some respect for the franchise, just not of recent. They're gonna have a hard time.
I heard they were good back in the day.
Exactly. I mean, it's I bet none of their players know. None of those young kids know. I think all those kids
Well,
only.
the players are our age or younger.
Yeah, that's they don't know. Their entire life has been the Redskins struggling. I don't think they're not getting out of jail very soon. This is not a problem that's fixed. This is a problem that is just starting, and it's just this is going to be crazy. I I don't know who's going to take this job. I don't know who could ever actually have success with an owner who's. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I could say a whole bunch of other bad things about him, but it's not going to really accomplish much. Speaking of knowing what you knowing what you get when you get into something. All right, Snoop Dogg was recently hired at Kansas for a pep rally. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I did.
And apparently there was some backlash after the fact, not so much during. That his performance might have been a little inappropriate. Which, when I ask you, when you hire Snoop Dogg, were you really expecting a very appropriate performance, or were you expecting all the rumors that somehow became to be true of what this pep rally ended up having? You want to give him some details? Well, what did Snoop Dogg bring out for the pep rally here? What kind of gizmos and gadgets and people did he have there?
So if you're unfamiliar with college basketball, kind of the first main event of the season for him is some sort of pep rally. Every team's got one. Kentucky's got Big Blue Madness is coming up this Friday. Duke the following Friday has got Countdown to Craziness. I'm sure every team has something with like a little name to it. And like I said, it's a pep rally. I imagine it's mostly students. There's got to be some people that are, in the community, adults with families and stuff. And usually there's some big introductions. Sometimes maybe some games are played. It's just it's a pep rally, So I'll get a little different names. And apparently Kansas was able to get Snoop Dogg to perform. So I see the video Saturday morning, and something like along the lines of, "Man, Bill Self just does not care," because he just got the whole program just got hit with a bunch of infractions, and so they might have just gone a different direction. So I see the video. The video is Snoop Dogg performing on the court, which is a little odd. It's not even like there's like no stage or anything. He's just on the court going around. Pretty sure it was Akon's "I'm in Love with a Stripper" was playing, which I was a little confused because that's not a Snoop Dogg song. But I don't know exactly what it was. I wasn't there. This is just a little clip. But in the four corners of the court, they have scantily clad girls dancing on poles. And while this is happening, Snoop Dogg is walking around. I think he's just I don't think he's like actually like singing, performing. I mean, he's definitely walking around. He's entertaining the crowd. He's got a money gun, and a money gun is exactly what it sounds like. It looks almost like a scanner at the grocery store, but when you pull the trigger, money comes out. And he's just going along the sideline, just shooting that off into the crowd.
I didn't realize there was a video of this. I had no idea there was a video. He was on Stern yesterday, and they kind of addressed it like spot on, and he was like, "Look, I know they made a whole lot of backlash on it, and there's a whole bunch of news articles about it, but they're really just covering their ass because we had a really good time, and I think they got everything they wanted." And that's and he says and he was like, "That's all I'm really gonna leave it at." And I kind of agree. He was hired to do a concert that he does. This is how he does a concert. Like you don't have to agree with it. I may not even agree with it, but if I were to hire Snoop Dogg for a concert, well, I mean,
it was a performance for college kids.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, look, we don't need to get into the actual specifics of it. I just think that when you hire someone
like a super. Actually, I'll have to send you the video. But all that doesn't sound like super fun if you were in college. Even if you were in college right now, if you
it sounds amazing.
To go to a Snoop Dogg concert, this is going on.
Oh no, it sounds awesome. It sounds amazing. I may not want that representing my school though that had just gone under some scrutiny. Like I totally see that argument. But also as a college kid, oh hell yeah, that's awesome. I mean, not only do I get to go to an awesome school with a mediocre basketball team, but that's cool. But they brought in Snoop Dogg for me. Not only I get to get a good education and see like an okay team, I get to see Snoop Dogg too. Like that's awesome. That's and I'm
Yeah,
sure they'll see like a first round of 32 game if they're lucky. Yeah. and that's awesome. I don't know. I think that's cool.
My favorite quote from the Howard Stern show spot that you mentioned was, quote, "When you pay for Snoop Dogg, you gonna get Snoop Dogg." And then added, we had the time of my life, which I'm sure all of those kids did. I think like it kind of got out, and I think that the AD really didn't have many other options besides just saying like, hey, we asked him not to do the racy, or we asked him like to tone it down. This is what happened. We did put this at the end of the the end of the show. So if there were families or kids there, and you didn't want them to be exposed to Snoop Dogg, you could have been like, hey, we saw the basketball part. We're taking off. Wasn't like you lost out on an experience if you didn't want to be there for that. But my biggest issue is that Kansas's pep rally was before all these other ones. And now for sure, anyone that's got a performance, anything that was even close to the line, the AD's coming in and being like, tell me exactly what you're doing. Yeah, we need to ratchet that down 3 notches. Nope, that is too much. And it's just going to be a bunch of like, anything that could have been cool is like off the table now. It's going to be a lot lamer and like not as exciting.
Did anyone
Except
get hurt?
Maybe Memphis.
Was anyone hurt or harmed?
Nobody got hurt.
Oh, okay. Just some hurt feelings and some save face. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's not a big deal. I just think it's a fun story. I love that Snoop is at a college campus still. Snoop's not young anymore. I know we kind of treat him as like this young guy. Like
he's not.
He's not.
His son's in college, right?
Yeah. No. I mean, I'm never gonna
and
call.
If I'm not mistaken, like not like a freshman, like might be an upperclassman at this point.
No, I'm not gonna call him old. He's a very young, spirited human being, and that's the nicest way to say it. But yeah, he's no new guy. All right. The fact he's still doing this and people want him to do this, that's awesome. I got no problem with any of it. I'm good with it. All right, we're at the 42-minute mark right here. I got to remind everyone to go check out the website as well as your Twitter here. So go check out the website, lcalcb.com, and check out Zach's Twitter, which is
WickedZman24.
Follow him on there to see a lot of good stuff. And you know what? Actually, while we're on the topic of you right now, let's do a little Zach Sets the Record Straight. You ready for a little game show here?
Oh, you ready?
Yeah, let's see if I can. I need a W this week. All right. For those of you that are new to the show, every week, Zach and I play a little game show here. It's called Zach Sets the Record Straight. He's going to tell me 3 Guinness World Records. 2 of them are true. 1 of them is false. Name of the game is me to figure out which one is false. Did I get it right? I got it right. That's right. It's something about playing the music when I have to hit one other button during all this. It just throws me off. But I think I got it right, and I think I'm ready to play. I have not won the last couple of weeks. I'm ready to win this week. So without further ado, tell us the first world record.
All right, the first one. Man, these are always so dumb. Fruit salad breaks record at 11,707 pounds.
A fruit salad.
So, really big fruit salad.
All right.
That was a French city. 700 volunteers did that.
Ooh. All right.
10 hours.
All right.
Second one.
Next one.
Actor goes 1 hour, 17 minutes, 3 seconds without blinking to set world record.
I mean, this has nothing to do with it, but was it male or female?
It is a male, and yes, there is a video.
Man, what a creep.
I don't know why you'd want to watch that, but I know a lot of times you ask me for these. Is there a video? And it's like, yeah, there's a video for this.
Nobody's ever
back and forth behind the back.
Nobody's ever going to go to the website again. They're never going to go to the website again if I post that video of somebody staring for an hour and 17 minutes. Anyways,
as his hours get and 3 seconds, as his eyes get redder and redder and waterier and waterier.
That might be
right, so
that would be cool.
One.
Sped up. Like, can I watch it in like 10 seconds and just see his eyes just go bloodshot in a blink?
Probably. You probably have the technology to do that.
All right, number 3.
So we got fruit salad, we got no blinking, and we have man juggles soccer ball in Sahara Desert, 3.61 miles for the record.
In the desert? So he's
Sahara
just
Desert, big one.
So he's just like wandering out in the Sahara, juggling a ball, and he doesn't screw it up. Interesting.
Correct.
All right. Let's see. The no blinking one. I can't decide if that's like plausible or not plausible. Like it's really difficult to tell with all these records every time. It's a world record if it's true, which makes it should be ridiculous. Like it should be almost impossible because it's a record. Yeah, I'm gonna say the no blinking is not true. The blinking one is false.
Wrong again.
Man.
The streak continues. Oh man, this is the best.
Hold on. Let me get a second one. All right, is it honestly, I would say the fruit salad. I'm going to say the Sahara one is true and the fruit salad is false.
That's correct.
Hey, I can play the ding, 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 ding. I actually got one. All right, half credit. Second try.
Yeah,
I didn't show my work.
The fruit salad that broke the record was not 11,000 pounds. It was 22,000 pounds.
Wow. Well, you know what? Next time, if I ever actually do get it right, I should try and figure out what the actual record was. Like if it was over or under, maybe. Because you know what? I need those kind of elements to be added to this game because I'm not very good at the first part, and it's getting really hard. Anyways, that's Zach Sets the Record Straight. We play that every week.
This record, sometimes these, whatever the previous record, blows it out of the water, especially for like these big events. This one, not so much. This was 22,000, basically 700 pounds. That beat the record that of 22,400 pounds that was set in Montreal last year. So apparently this is a thing. I would not have thought that.
I like fruit
Would you want to be part of this?
I don't know.
Be a volunteer spending more than 10 hours cutting apples, pears, strawberries, kiwis, grapes, watermelons, plums, oranges, grapefruits, and bananas.
I mean, originally I thought 700 people was a lot, and thinking about it, it's not. I mean, it was double the amount you said, right? Was it 22,000 or something?
Yeah, it's 22,000. Yeah, it wasn't exactly half, but basically half.
Yeah, that's a lot. No, I don't think I'm signing up for that. I do really like fruit salad, though. I would love to partake in whatever's left over after. I'll take some fruit salad.
Well, the fruit salad was separated afterwards into smaller containers and sold for $5.50 a piece at various businesses in the city. So next time you're in France, you gotta time it a little better.
Is that how we're gonna make money off the record we break? Is it gonna be something like that?
That we sell afterwards?
Yeah. I don't think that's a winner.
I think it's gonna have to be. I don't know. I don't like fruit salad that much.
Can we just make that the bet consequence this year? Like the loser has to break a Guinness World Record?
What if you can't do it? You just gotta keep trying until you get it.
You know what? I'd like to say that sounds like a you problem, but it's gonna be a very much me problem because this streak is not good. It's not good. I don't know how I'm gonna get out of it. I gotta get out of it though. We may have to start hedging bets.
Yourself?
What's that?
Are you gonna kidnap yourself?
I don't know. We're gonna just have to be like every other reality TV and just do it scripted. All right? You gotta take one for the team one of these years.
I don't think this is how it works. We're not a reality show. We do things live.
Oh, we're actual reality.
We live in real life.
Let's see. I got one more topic here. We can do scuba diving, or we can do the vegan friend. We got about 10 minutes here, so it's got to be a quick one.
Do the vegan friend.
All right. So it's apparently there is a police report of a friend who is vegan, not a friend of us, a vegan person reported a friend who was feeding her chicken nuggets when she was intoxicated. And this is actually going to court, or this is me prosecuted? Is this a real thing? Or is this just kind
I'm
of a funny story of
we're still in the early stages. So far, she's just reported it to the police. Uh, there hasn't been a follow up whether the police are able to file charges on this. But yeah, it's exactly how you described it. Of it's the friends were pulling a prank on her. She was drinking, and they said, "Hey, we made chicken nuggets," and she said, "Oh, are they the vegan ones?" And they said, "Yes, yes,
oh
they are."
no, I got a problem with this
And
now. Now I'm not good with it. I didn't know that's how it went down.
and then she said they tasted kind of like off, but she's like, I was drunk, so I didn't know. And apparently, she's been a long time vegan who says that she hasn't eaten meat since infant.
She probably got
And
sick. She probably got really
she
sick.
nope, didn't get sick. Well, probably sick because she was drunk, if anything. But didn't think anything of it. Woke up the next day, didn't know anything about it until her sister said, "Hey, you should check your friend's Snapchat stories."
Oh,
Oh yeah, her
busted.
friends just videoed like the whole thing, like videoed like cooking the chicken nuggets, videoed her, like made fun of like her like eating the chicken nuggets, like the whole thing. And so her claim is saying, and you're going to the police is like, hey, they might be saying I'm overreacting, but to for me, they took advantage of me in my drunken state, tampered with my food, and publicly humiliated me.
I think those are all reasonable cases, but I think the real wrongdoing is just misrepresenting what someone's eating. You can't tell them it's one thing and it not be that. I think that's my biggest problem with it all. If you're really drunk and you make a bad decision, that's on you. But if you ask somebody and they answer you and they lie to you, that's I think that's the biggest issue right there. I would be really suspicious on whether or not that actually happened though. Does that you think somebody asked? Like, do you think this vegan actually asked, or do you think this was a drunken mistake of everyone else was eating chicken nuggets and they were starving?
It sounds like there's a Snapchat video, and it sounds like, and she has been like had a whole Reddit thing and was very much putting ex friends over and over again. So it says woman, but it just based on how it is kind of playing out, it's just like, oh, there's a woman, but it's like these are college kids,
Yeah.
and this was, yo, we're all really good friends, everybody likes each other. It's like, but we kind of prank each other, and I think like the prank, if someone's been a vegan for that long and hasn't eaten meat, like you said, like I don't know, like you get sick doing that, like was probably a little far. I'm probably thinking her friends were drinking too, and it was all like, oh, this is real funny in the moment. I think where it gets to me is I don't think you can go to the police for something like this. This is something you got to talk out, or just never talk to these people again, whatever your decision on this is, or prank them back or something. But I don't think involving the police is the right.
Oh, I don't.
Like,
I don't
what
think.
are they like? They got other things to deal with.
I don't think nothing's going to accomplish by this. There's not going to actually be any charges. At least I really wouldn't
Is
expect
this
that.
how you? Is this how you're gonna get out of the March Madness bet? Are you gonna call the police on me for taking advantage of you?
Hi, I'd like to report some illegal gambling. Oh no. Yes, I agreed to do it. No. I don't want any consequences on myself. Just what? No,
No, just that guy.
just that guy. Yeah. Oh no,
Listen,
that's not how this works. Well, can I get a mulligan? Can we do this again?
yeah. Could you pretend this didn't happen?
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah, that's not my name. No. That's the name of the person I wish I was named. No, I don't know. And tell them what? I don't know what anyone. I'd like to be under the impression that police officers have something way more significant to be working on than anything like this. But if someone feels like they're wrong, they have a right to do it. So if that's what they want to do, they can. I think
I
people
don't think that's how it works, though.
look.
I
I don't
think
think they're going to get anywhere by it. I'm just.
if you're assaulted, if you're like a crime, like that's when you go to the police. If you're, it's a little more than your feelings being hurt, but Like, no crime was, I don't think, committed here. I don't think you can go to the police for that. Yes, you're definitely upset, but that's what I was saying. I don't think you go to the police. I think you have to go to your friends, ex-friends, whatever you're calling them, and you got to have talking to with them and say, hey, this was really messed up for you to do. I now love chicken nuggets. These things are delicious.
Have you had the vegan ones?
No, I've never had vegan chicken nuggets. I don't think that's really a thing. They just be vegan nuggets, right?
I think it's like country fried steak. I don't know. I think
Wait,
it's
how is vegan chicken nuggets like country fried steak? Isn't that steak? Wouldn't that be farther away from being vegan?
you know what? You're not the perfect culinary person to explain all this to. It's fine. We'll move on.
Oh, excuse me. I had no idea I couldn't handle chicken nuggets and vegan chicken nuggets. I'm pretty sure I would love vegan nuggets because nuggets are basically just an excuse to shovel condiments into your mouth.
All right. Yep, you're right. I think chicken nuggets is it doesn't necessarily have to have chicken in it. It sounds stupid to argue this. I'm not going to argue this.
Just an excuse? Is it not just an excuse to just eat barbecue sauce?
All right. What I was, it's exactly the excuse of it. My example of country fried steak was supposed to be in some states, I think, and even some areas, it can be called chicken fried steak. But it's not. Do you see that how it contradicts that? It's just like it's not really. It's not one or the other. It can be a vegan nugget. There's no point explaining it. I already explained that I shouldn't have to explain this. I'll post definitions of it all online. Go check out the website. We've got 4 minutes left. LCALCB.com. We record live every Wednesday. You can listen on there. Leave a comment. I don't know. Post another video. If you got any good bet ideas for this upcoming March Madness, it's going to come up quick. We are still looking for a bet consequence for us to do. If you haven't seen any of the past ones, you can go look those up. They're every bit as embarrassing as they sound. Last bet, I had to dress up as Jackie Moon and play in a pickup basketball game, the whole outfit, hair and all, high socks, the whole ordeal. What was the year before that? Was the shaved legs, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Shaved legs, short shorts, pickup basketball.
Yep.
Year before that, high heel race, 100-meter dash in high heels.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, someone asked me the other day, is the podcast still fun? It's always fun. It's always fun. Any expectations for Zion tonight?
5 dunks.
5?
5.
You know what? Actually,
and he shoots better than 80% from the field.
I don't really watch a whole lot of Sports Center anymore, but I think this would be a fun fact to see how many number one plays it ends up being Zion dunks. Like, is he gonna have more than anyone ever? Like, is he gonna have LeBron's probably another one who has a bunch of those, and I would love to know how many he's got and how fast Zion can catch up. I don't know. It's something interesting to look out for.
There's that data's got to be out there somewhere. I have no idea how you would acquire that without just watching hours and hours of footage. Maybe that's why I'll retire early, so I can figure out this bet, or not this bet, but this data.
Oh, well, you got 7 days.
That'll be my calling.
You got 7 days till next week to figure it out. We'll be back next Wednesday, 3 o'clock, LCA, LCB. Little Column A, Little Column B, hosted by William Wilson, co-hosted by Zach Bishop. We'll be back next week. Anything else you got to add?
I want to give a shout out to my friend Esperanza. She's the only one that has said that she likes my voice better than your voice. And if you're looking to get a shout out, that's exactly the kind of thing you need to tell me. So, shout out there.
Should I be insulted by that? Or should she feel like the outcast? I'm just saying. The only one?
I think no one else has said that to me. So I think she's just a nice person. But yeah, if you want to get a shout out, that's the way you go about it.
Hey, well done. We appreciate everyone that listens. I don't think anyone ever actually said they liked my voice. They just said it was good for radio. We'll be back.
Well, little column A, little column B.